Assassin's Creed Battlefield. Assassin. Alright, let's figure out how far down the list do I have to go. Whew. Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel for another trophy and achievement journal, this time for Q2 of the year. So that'll cover the months of April, May, and June. For those that don't know what Q2 is, as always, I'm Ray. I love hunting achievements and trophies. Let's just get into this. First game we have is called Road 96. I did not expect to love this game as much as I did. It's a lot of fun. The best way to describe it would be, it's kind of like a walking sim with light puzzle elements where there's a political upheaval, I guess, in a fictional country, and you play as a bunch of teenagers just trying to get to Road 96, which is like this border road where people try to escape into, just to relate it easier, it'd be like if people were trying to escape America to go to Canada, I guess. If you live in the Americas. If you live international, I'm a dumb American. I don't know as much geography as I'd like. But along the way, you play as different characters, you interact differently. Apparently, the story that you get changes, which is kind of a good thing or a bad thing. So like my buddy played as one character to start, I played as a different one. It can affect your enjoyment of the story, I guess, because he didn't like it as much. The section he played, I actually played later in the game, so it made more sense. But I absolutely love this game. I think they made a prequel for it. I bought it day one. I haven't started it yet, but absolutely recommend Road 96. I think the music's great. Visually, it's stunning. I like the story they present, where there are these teenagers trying to escape the country in between an election of political unrest. There's a terrorist attack from the past that plays into some things. A lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Next is Don't Touch This Button. I believe this is a Rattle-like a game, but don't hold me to it. Basically, it's a first-person puzzler. I wouldn't call it Portal, but it's like Portal-esque. And the game kind of messes with you a little bit. I believe, for example, it says don't touch the button. The way to solve the level is to touch the button. A pretty decent little puzzle game. I really enjoyed it. You'll notice some of these games, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Lego Star Wars, I've already played, completed Lego Star Wars. I was helping someone out. I really only like to go over the games that I've completed that month. So Yu-Gi-Oh! I think I played a little bit of it. I was trying to grind a little more to the 100%, but it's a grind of a game, and it's not easy if you don't like doing the newer dueling techniques. I like to really stay old school with it, like from the anime Battle Cities, like as far as I really like to go. So I get absolutely destroyed. But anyway, back to the achievements. Oh, a game that's not on here because I got a title update later, so you'll see it in a future video. Rayland. Really enjoy Rayland. I don't think it's a Rattle-like a game, but it could be. Pretty cheap. They keep doing title updates, which is nice. A very fun little puzzle game about lining up lasers. So we'll see that at a later point. But then we got Knockout City. I started Knockout City, I think, when they released it, and I enjoyed it for a few hours. I thought it was pretty fun. Then they announced they were shutting the game down. So I was like, okay, let's hop back in here. Let's get this done. And I adore Knockout City. It was such a blast. The developers did a really great job of knowing that there were like achievement hunters in the community, or trophy hunters, I guess, too. They made some of the more grindy achievements very attainable, very attainable. Like you were getting credits to unlock things and progress certain achievements and trophies so quickly. It was really nice to see. I really hope they make another game. I think they said they are. Just Knockout City, just in it's an online, basically like not arena shooter because you're playing dodgeball, but let's call it a co-op shooter, I guess. Loads of fun, but there's too many other games going on. It was a live service. It just couldn't get its footing, which is a shame. They also had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cosmetic pack, which is pretty cool. And I think some other stuff too. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I believe you can still play it on PC. I think they gave PC players the ability to create their own server, so if you haven't played it yet, absolutely dive in. That game is a blast to play. I miss it. Keep scrolling. Hogwarts Legacy. Really fun game. The collectibles were a little bit of a pain, but I absolutely adore this game. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I love the books. I love the movies. Finally, we get a really cool game where you get to go in and just have your own adventure that's not really tied to Harry Potter itself. Just a great open world game. I really enjoyed this one. Murder Miner should be at 100%, but there's a glitched achievement, so upsetting. Maybe sometime I'll get it, but then we have Among Us. They did a I think they called it a hide and seek title update. Yeah, hide and seek update. Not terrible. You can grind it out boosting wise pretty easily. I think I had a boosting group in my Discord, which is cool. That was one of our first games we played. But yeah, I really like Among Us. I got the PS4 and PS5 versions to actually do the hide and seek DLC on, so I'll be back in there at some point. Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterflies. Or Butterfly. I really enjoy the Coffee Talk games. It's a shame that I don't think they're making any more. I believe because the creator or the lead developer, something along those lines, he tragically passed away, which is unfortunate. I think he actually makes an appearance at the end of the game, which was cool. But yeah, I've heard they're not actually going to continue the series because he passed away. And it's basically, you just get coffee orders, you make them. It's a little tricky, some of the recipes. You can find lists online, which is what I did. But I really enjoy the Coffee Talk games. I think they're pretty relaxing. I enjoy a good relaxing game every now and then. And I think it's on Game Pass, I think, along with the first one, so I definitely recommend you go try those out. Also, I think they're on PlayStation. Now I'm going to go back to this. Zerthos, The Heir of Thunder. Pretty good top-down dungeon crawler type game. Art style kind of looks like RuneScape-ish. You get a lot of cool weapons in there. They keep doing title updates, so that's why I got the extra 1,000 in here. And I'd recommend it. It's fun. The achievements aren't hard. And now that I think all the achievements are out, it's a pretty good progression where it can push you from beginning to end of the game, because before it was more or less, I think you just beat a section of the game, and I don't know if you could have continued from there, or if there just weren't achievements. I'm not sure. And then the cool thing is, every time you load it back up, you get like a handful of achievements just from previous things you've done. I really like when games do that. And then once you got those like kind of auto pops, then there was a little bit more you had to do, which was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend for the price point, which I think is like at most $5. The last Xbox game I played this quarter is a little game called Adios. I think this might have been... No, this wasn't the last month. I think this was like the second to last month they did games with gold. And it's not great. It's short. It's a interesting story where you play as a farmer trying to get out of like mob work. And walking simulator with some puzzles. Not hard at all. Again, very quick. It's not a great example of what the games with gold could be or have been in the past. It's kind of a good example of what it became towards the end, with Game Pass kind of overtaking it, and that's where the money's going. So I get it. And it was, at the very least, it's an interesting story. I like the story of it. And seeing as I only did 2 PlayStation games this quarter, I'm going to do what I did last video and just, superimpose them on the screen like so. The first game was Hawken. It's kind of like let's call it like a precursor to Titanfall. Slower, more meticulous, more strategic, I would say. I don't want to say realistic, but it's heavier. It's fun. Surprisingly, the PlayStation version is far easier to complete than the Xbox version, mainly because there's one trophy, which is, I believe, to kill 10 enemies with while they're healing. You can heal your let's call them Titans in this game. Maybe they're called Hawkins, I don't know, but you can heal your Titan. We'll call them that. And as you're healing them, you gotta kill or while the enemy's healing, you gotta kill them. Simple enough. 10 times. That's the grind of the trophy. I believe Xbox actually has that same trophy, except it's 100, so it takes a lot longer. But me and my buddy Gary, we banged it out in a short amount of time. It wasn't too bad, and I enjoy the game. It's fun. And the last one that we're gonna talk about, Walking Dead Season 2. I could have sworn that I did this game forever ago because they put it out on PS Plus, and I could have sworn for sure that I completed it early on in my trophy hunting, but apparently I didn't, so I hopped back in. I completed it. It's a shame that neither of these games had platinums, but what are you going to do? The platinum isn't exactly a guaranteed in games because of Sony's weird systems. But Season 2, at first I did not like it. I played it at launch on my Xbox, mainly because the story doesn't go exactly where I thought it would go. And without spoiling it, if you haven't played this season, this is not a group that's supposed to succeed. They have a lot of internal issues, a lot of power struggle, it seems like. And I liked it the second time once I knew what the group was. And honestly, I think it's better than Season 3. I don't think that's a bold claim to make. Season 3 has its own separate issues. But Season 2 is not the worst of The Walking Dead. It's definitely not the best. But if you can get it cheap, or you got it for free, or if you just like The Walking Dead games and you haven't tried it, I'd recommend it. It's still a good story. And with that, our most recent game of record a video while Sammy's sleeping and please don't wake him comes to a close. Again, I appreciate everybody taking the time to watch the video, giving feedback. Hit the table. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and now we're gonna go play Assassin's Creed Mirage. When it loads up. Oh, I forgot. I closed it out before. Pretty cool intro, right?